Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest with Amanda.ie. I'm joined today by Shonee McWilliams, who is based in Belfast, but is originally from Ballycastle. And Shonee is officially Belfast's Pie Queen. She has started up a food business called Pie Queen, which is run online and run from her home. So the pies are absolutely gorgeous, sweet, savoury, vegan, vegetarian. They're all in the mix. I've become a bit of a fan of them, but we'll get down to all things pie in a second. And we'll start maybe talking about your journey through food, where you learned to cook, who taught you to cook, why you developed a passion for food.
So cooking, I've cooked myself like since I was so young. So my stepdad is a wonderful cook, like wonderful home cook. And like still to this day, me and my sisters look forward to going home and having a Norman dinner. His name's Norman. And he's just all about comfort food. And like from such a young age, he was taking me into the kitchen and being like, right, you need to learn how to make your dinner. So it just kind of all started from there. Like, I think food's always been so important to me. It's, it's your comfort. It's your thing that brings you home and makes you feel better. And it just always makes me feel like home and going back to my family and getting everybody around the table. And when I get to cook for my friends and family, it's just like the best feeling in the world. Again, it wasn't something I expected to do for a career. I always say it's something I kind of fell into because it was just a love and a hobby for so long. But then, just kind of fell into it for a job.
Like most people like myself, I took the scenic route through education and did a couple of different qualifications that aren't necessarily related to what I'm doing now. What did you study at college and at uni?
Well, in tech, I did performing arts, and as like a teenager I did all my Lambda exams, and I was going to go to drama school and audition for drama school, and that was what my heart was set on and all I was going to do. Didn't get in on my first audition, so was like, okay, pick something sensible. Went to uni, did marketing then, graduated from that, thought, right, I'm going to get a real sensible job in marketing, that's me sorted. But then that didn't happen either, as I was working in hospitality at that point. And again, like I always say, I just kind of fell into it. So I was always working in front of house and then kind of snuck my way into the kitchen. I was like, I kind of like this. And then it always just felt right. And every so often I'd be like, will I apply for marketing again? Will I look back into that? It's like, no, like this is what feels right. Even though that's not what I planned or what I studied or what I thought I was going to do, it just always felt like it was the right thing to be doing for me.
Well, I have a marketing and communication degree as well, which isn't strictly related to journalism, but it has helped to a certain extent. I suppose as you're building your business, that marketing background is probably going to help you out. Maybe some of the lectures, you'll cast your mind back to some of them.
100%. I mean, I think it's something that I'm always like, oh, I wasted my time doing this degree, and I make jokes about it. But if I think about it and just stop being so self-deprecating about everything all the time, it's actually been so helpful now with starting my own business, because I have to do everything myself. I'm sure you're doing all your social media and doing all the copy for my website and all these things that you don't think about. You're like, I'm just going to make my product and sell it. Like, there's so much more to it than that. And kind of like the businessy marketing side, has been more helpful than I ever admit for some reason.
And you had been involved in a food project with one of your friends, and that came to an end, and then you decided you wanted to go out on your own. That was kind of COVID related, because you'd lost a job in hospitality because of the pandemic, kind of forced you to adapt. And then you think to yourself, well, I actually enjoy doing this, so I'm going to make a business of it. So was there any particular moment that was when you decided, yes, I'm doing this?
Well, there's a few different moments. So first of all, sort of lost the job, and I was in like a job that I loved so much. Like, I felt I'd really found this place where I was going to be for a few years. And in my head, I'd made this promise to myself, like, this is the last time I work for someone. And then I'm going to do my project, whatever that looks like. I'm going to spend these couple of years figuring that out. And then the world went crazy and that job didn't exist anymore. And it was like, okay, let's just do it. So started this little food project. We catered a few little events. We did a pop-up in Hill Street Hatch, where we came up with the idea for the pie shop. So that was kind of like the first little sparkles of pies might work. But then, yeah, we sort of had our own ideas, went our separate ways, and the pie shop thing just stuck with me. I just love making them, and I'd always tried to find what my thing was, because you can't just be like, I'm just going to cook food and hopefully people buy it. You need to have your thing that you do. So yeah, that's when I decided to just go with Pie Queen and like not wait for it to be the perfect time, just start making pies.
And ingredients wise, I know that you're quite keen on using as many local suppliers as possible and sourcing all, great sort of fresh produce. Do you want to talk just a little bit about that, how that works?
Yeah, so what's really important in my menus is seasonality, and like I think it should be important in everybody's menu. And go in as local as you can. I'm really lucky. So I run this out of my house, and at the very end of my road is the Bethany Fruit Market. And Phil that owns and runs that is just amazing. So every time I'm coming up with a new menu, I'm able to go down, have a chat, be like, what's good this month? What can I use? And he'll like source me like the best. And he gets so excited as well. So I'll go down and he'll be like, these strawberries are 2 miles away and it's amazing. And this cauliflower is from a mile away. You've got to use it. So that's really fun. And it's really nice to have people like that in the community to kind of bounce off and just make it a really fun thing to do.
And the options that you have for vegetarian and for vegan don't feel like an afterthought, because that can sometimes be a little bit of, how that feels for people. Is that something that's important to you?
Yes, that's something that's always been important to me. Like no matter where I've worked, like I'm not vegan myself, but I don't always want to eat meat and I don't always want to have dairy. And I think it's important that we are careful with our intake of those things. And there should be options there where, like you say, it's not an afterthought. It's still my product. It's still amazing. And I always push as well, like if you like meat and butter, still try these vegan pies. You're not going to know the difference. It's still really good.
The lovely one that I tried, because whenever we were picking from the selection, it was the beef brisket pie was definitely had my partner Patty's name on it, and because it was a lovely combination. It was peach and cheese and honey, and it was absolutely delicious. And it didn't feel as if it was sort of playing second fiddle to the meat pie. But you're making like 4 different types of pastry and the stuff that you do, and then some.
Yes, I think, is it 4 at the minute? No, is it 5? It might be 5. It might be 5 at the minute. So I've got like a savory vegan hot crust. I've got a butter hot crust. I've got a vegan short crust. I've got an all butter sweet pastry, and then I've got a biscuit base as well.
Right.
Because
that's
I need
my
head
the ingredient people tell you to like buy because it's too difficult to make, but you enjoy it. That's one of your kind of therapeutic endeavors.
Yeah, definitely. Because even like pies is always something I never did as part of my professional work. In kitchens I would chefing and prepping and try bakes and all of that stuff to just pump it out, and it was still good, but there's only so much you're able to do. So making pastry was the thing that you did on your day off, where you came home and you just wanted to take your time over something or make something special for someone. And it's definitely labor intensive. That is probably the most time consuming part of it. But I think that's what makes a difference. I think people taste the difference. I notice the difference. And there's just something really nice about making a product where you're like, every element of that I have made with my hands. Yeah.
You really love being a chef, Shonee. It's very clear from the way you're talking about it. Is there a particular experience about being a woman in the chefing world, about being a woman in this industry?
I think it was definitely hard when I was a young chef. It was a very, like many industries, super male dominated and testosterone fueled, and you'd go into kitchens and they just weren't always the nicest places to work. And that's fine. There's loads of amazing chefs that work that way and they, get pumped off that. But it just wasn't for me. So when I was younger, I was always really worried if I was going to be able to keep this up, if I was going to be able to be successful in it. But I was lucky and found lovely little jobs and little small businesses in Belfast that were just full of lovely, caring people that wanted to help you and teach you and learn from you as well, instead of just be angry and aggressive and, be a big angry man about it all. I will say though, I think that like Belfast has come so far, and there's now so many amazing women chefs doing like such innovative food projects, which is just the best thing to see ever, and really nice to be part of as well. So like things are 100% changing.
And you are running your business online at the moment, so it's a sort of system where you put up the availability and then it's either a collection or delivery process. Is that working well for you, that system?
Yes, it is. It's working surprisingly well. I think when I started this, I think I said earlier, you know, you wait around for the perfect time where, you know, I've got loads of money and I can open my bakery and it's going to be this exact dream scenario that you've had in your head for years. But that wasn't going to happen. So you're like, right, just make a shop, just do it, see how it goes. It might not work. But it did work. And still when I get orders every week, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm still doing this. So yes, that is working for now.
And you supply to some of the local hospitality businesses, and you can do events and things like that. Is there a plan to grow the business? Have you anything in the pipeline?
Yes, there is something in the pipeline that is quite exciting, but it's like all at the very beginning of kind of talking about that. But Pie Queen's definitely going to grow. So
watch this space. It'll be great to see what you do next. Shonee, thank you so much for talking to me today. If people want to find out more about your business and find you online and the gorgeous pictures of the food that you're making at home, which taste even nicer than they look, if that's possible, how do they find you?
My website is piequeen.co.uk. So that's where you can either contact me or order your pies for the weekend. And then also check out the Instagram, which is Pie Queen Belfast.
Brilliant. Shonee, thank you very much for joining me today. And if you want to find out more, visit Amanda.ie.